Assalamualaikum, I'm Rabia Chaudhry and I'm a Teach for Pakistan Fellow. I've been a part of this program since July 2019 when I graduated from LUMS. Currently, I am teaching around 135 beautiful, resilient girls in a school in Bari Imam. Our classrooms are small, we don't always have electricity, and even when we do, sometimes our fans don't work or sometimes there isn't enough light for us to actually see the whiteboard. But every day, without fail, my girls have come into these rooms and lit them up with just their joy and their enthusiasm to learn. So, when the lockdown started and we had lost these classrooms, me and my co fellows were faced with this almost paralyzing question of what now? Because when you talk about online learning, the picture that comes to mind is of this high tech classroom where every child has access to a laptop and there is a high powered internet connection and everything is happening over Zoom and the parents are highly involved. And this picture did not seem to reconcile with our reality. And so our first question was, is this even possible for our kids jinke liye any sort of an internet connection would be a blessing? And it is so easy to let that become an excuse to not act. But one thing that we were very clear on was that we could not give up on these students. They had showed us that they deserved better. So we started looking for whatever technological platform they already had access to and whatever simple methods we could use to get information to them, what platforms they could already access, and we decided to just go ahead and use those. And in doing that, there is so much that we learned ourselves. One thing we found was that most of our students had access to a WhatsApp enabled phone. So then WhatsApp could become one of our primary modes of communication. For those with only SMS access, we were able to create differentiated content and also send them learning packets. But in all of this, we realized how simple things could really look and how we did not have to wait for some crazy technological support to go ahead with this. So much could happen simply over WhatsApp.
And so this is what our WhatsApp classroom started to look like. We set some rules regarding the nature and delivery of content, which was sent in the forms of videos, pictures, audio notes, etc. This meant that the content was available for them to replay as many times as they wanted and to learn from whenever. Learning was no longer restricted to the classroom. The students would do their work, take pictures of it, and send it for feedback. But even we did not anticipate how well the students adjusted to this platform. Soon enough, they were sending us their questions over voice notes, which meant that even those who could not type were able to communicate with us, and class discussions started to flow. When we would send them feedback, they would often ask us for more clarity, and were able to get the sort of individual attention they could not ask for in a classroom full of 50 students. And eventually, they even started using the groups to talk to each other during non-class hours, and we were able to regain the sort of connection and class culture we had been missing out on. And so, a lot of what my WhatsApp school looks like right now has actually been because of the innovation of my students.
But one of the best things about all of this has been the increased parent involvement in these children's studies. Because when I first reached out to them, they were very concerned कि मैं तो अनपढ़ हूँ, मैं कैसे मदद करूँगा, मैं बच्चे को कैसे काम कराऊँगा. And now the feedback that I'm getting implies that the parents are learning alongside the students.
टीचर हम बहुत खुश है, आप जो व्हाट्सएप पे पढ़ाती है तो साथ में हमारी अम्मी भी पढ़ती है, उसको भी वो 8वीं पास है तो उसको भी अभी आता है.
And having worked with these parents for the past year and having witnessed their helplessness and their frustration at not understanding what was going on at their child's school, this mode of learning has been so empowering with them. And for all of these reasons, my class that struggled for a whole year to do their homework on time is now taking so much agency for their own learning. And so when I think about whenever this is going to be over and I get to go back to my classroom, I am going to take my WhatsApp school with me. And we're going to use it to learn from videos, we're going to use it to do our homework, and we're going to use it to keep our parents involved. Because my students have every right to learn as much from technology as their privileged counterparts do.